Whew, all right. Deep breaths. So this is probably going to be one of the most terrifying, frightening videos that I've ever put out into the world. And to be quite honest, it's one that I hoped and prayed and wished that I would never have to make. But I also vowed to myself to always speak transparently, to always voice with honesty, no matter where. And one of my missions early last year, even before revealing my moko kauae, was to, be an example of full expression in the world in all environments that I'm in. So, yeah, it's with a bit of disappointment that I have to even have this thought of making this video. And as I go into the context, I really just want to understand other people's, other wahines, women's experiences with this. And I'm happy to be wrong. I'm really happy to be wrong on this. But what I'm about to share with you will maybe have you thinking, maybe this is happening. So for context, I am a Polynesian Māori woman and I live in Australia. And upon my chin are the ancestral markings of my culture. And it is called and referred to as a moko kauae. Not in 1,000 lifetimes that I think that Jade Binioni, me, would reveal my moko kauae. It just wasn't. I was somebody who said many times, and if we know anything about colonization, that was part of the plan for women like me to think this way. And it was that my language had no significance, my culture has no significance. In fact, when I moved to Australia, I remember saying, why would I learn my language? It's got no significance. Like, what can that get me? It's a story that many, Indigenous peoples tell themselves. So here I am, having spent 14 plus years living here on country, and I really did find myself fully expressed as an Indigenous woman. And hence why, as a coach, as an Indigenous coach, and standing up for women being in their full expression, I knew that part of my path was revealing my moko kauae. And I'm live literally on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the way, everywhere, because I want to do this one time and make this message one time. So to live in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and have a moko kauae is one thing. It is accepted. It is known what that is. Not always accepted, but But to wear one here in a completely, different country. I remember applying for one of, the role that I'm in now, as well as working in my business. And I remember giving them the courtesy of understanding what a moko kauae was and that my appearance was going to look different to when I interviewed. And they were very accepting, and I was over the moon about that. Anyways, the reason I'm making this video is because, and we won't go into the reasons why I've been putting myself out there, but essentially from the month of December, early December to March, I have applied for, I probably stopped counting on my spreadsheet at 65 roles. And in that time, I had updated my appearance on LinkedIn. And now if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I have the experience, if not more, of what of the jobs that I was applying for. Let me tell you, people, and I didn't want to, and I kind of, in between that period of December to March, I started thinking this is really weird, because when I was working at my previous tech company, it would be a running joke about how many in-mails you would get on LinkedIn about, are you interested in this role? Are you interested in this role? Between the period, so I received my moko kauae just at the end of, October, and between November, December, and March, not one in-mail and not one like serious reply to a job, to an application. My inbox was just full of thank you, but I started thinking, well, times are crazy. Like, even just in the last month, so many people have been laid off in the tech industry. And I was like, just crazy times. Then I got speaking to my mother, who we received our moko kauae at the same time. So I received this with my mother. And I said to her, Mum, you know what's really funny? I was like, and I'm a projector, so human design projector, and I kind of see things, and you just intuitively know things, and I've learned to trust that. And I said, something's really off about this, It's like I used to get maybe 5 to 6 in-mails a week offering jobs, and then when I go out and put myself out there, 65 companies, I'll stop counting at 65 on the spreadsheet. Date, name of company, role, outcome. All no. I said to Mum, this is really weird and strange. No in-mails, no like successful, even wanting to discuss having an interview. And she's like, yeah, well, that is weird. And I said, I hope it is not because I changed my picture on LinkedIn. I really hope it's not. And I said, because if I think it is, I have this list of companies, and it's like, anyway, I can get quite like, all right, what should we do with this? So I did an experiment. On March the 4th, I put my profile picture on LinkedIn back. And this is something I would never do to act. I wanted to see. And it kind of I well up with emotion, even thinking that I had to go this far. So I put my profile back as without my moko kauae. And I think at this point why I'm making this video. This week alone, I've received more in-mails than I received in 4 months. And when people reach out and offer me these roles that I would be offered every single day, before November. And even I've been actively applying for roles, not so much now. You would think I would be happy. This week I wasn't happy. Why? I don't have the scientific proof to back up what I think. But I went, surely not. I received that, like, the normal amount of in-mails offering me roles in companies more in 1 week with my profile picture changed back without my moko kauae on my face than in 4 months. So, number 1, I can't prove that this is the attitude with recruiters or companies. I can't prove that, but something in me says this is suspicious. I make this video for one reason: to bring awareness and even ask if you've ever experienced anything like this. You know, corporate companies, and especially on LinkedIn, there's no room for emotion or whatever, or like, you know, expressing your full self. There's a whole lot of social selling going on these days, but it's not, you know, transparency is the new in thing to do. This right here, me, Jade Binioni, this is transparency. You know, there's ERGs, there's all this acceptance, you know, around different groups of people and spaces, but is it really, or is it a tick box? Because as an Indigenous woman, for me to have to do that experiment and feel some type of way kind of tells me that we're not, it's not on. That's not real. It's not transparent. And even if I am completely making this up or taking it the wrong way, it's how it makes me feel. I know I have, you know, 15 years experience in selling and coaching. I have the experience. I have the relationships. I have the goods to back it up. Yet in 4 months, not one thing. Take away the thing that makes me me, the thing, my full expression. Oh, you know, now we can talk again. No. Thank you to all. If this were an attitude, if this attitude is, if I am not making this up and this attitude does need to be called out within corporate companies, hear me when I say, if you are one of the people that I applied for, you looked at my profile picture, couldn't make sense of what was going on my chin, thank you for not reaching out to me. Thank you for not bringing me into your culture. Thank you. You do not deserve all of this. You do not deserve this mana, this experience. You do not deserve it. If you know this is going, if you know, or if you can confirm, I'm literally sitting out here on the outside, like totally speculating on a little experiment I did on a spreadsheet and a profile picture. But if you are in HR, if you are a decision maker, if you are a hiring manager and you see this type of thing, this type of selectivity going on in your company, do better. And that's all I have to say on that. I am a proud Māori Polynesian woman who wears the markings of her ancestors and shows up in tech spaces, shows up in the coaching industry, unapologetic. And I train and mentor and coach other women in the world to stand up as boldly, as proudly in their full expression, just like I do, just like I've learned to do. And there will be more women and more men connected to those women who will stand in their power and not take fake transparency, fakeness, unintegral processes anymore. Thank you for this moment. I hope this is not happening in companies. And if it is, your loss. Your loss. Anyway, for now, I'm pretty all right where I am, funnily enough. But just a little parking that, and I want to talk to anybody, but especially my sisters, wahine, woman, to stand in your full expression. You may not be Indigenous, so standing in your full expression may not be revealing, a moko kauai or something alike, something to that effect. But to stand in your full expression in a world where that's not really understood or accepted is no small thing. And every day that you do it is a huge thing. Today is International Women's Day. I didn't kind of planned, I didn't even think about the fact that I was doing this on International Women's Day. But if you see this, you can feel the Māori, the energy coming from me as a woman. This is the level of transparency, honesty that you get to speak wherever you want. I'm live on 7 platforms right now. You get to take up this space. You get to speak this truth. You get to. So, if you've ever felt similar, felt unsafe to be in your full expression, I'm sorry. This world thinks it's not big enough for all of us to come and play. But we're here to change that. Well, I feel lighter. And I think I'll leave it there. Thank you for listening. Ka kite.